Hello, this is Dr. Ted with the fifth thing you need to know to be fit for life, and that's mental conditioning. I cannot overemphasize the importance of your mental conditioning and what it does for your fitness for life. If you're not obsessed with getting fit and staying fit for life, you will not put in the effort, do the work, allocate the time for your exercise program that will allow you to become and stay fit for your entire life. If you are relying upon feeling good to work out, it won't work. You won't work out just when you feel good. And that's about 70% of the time. And that in turn will lead you not to work out when you don't feel good. And that's another 25% of the time. And finally, you won't be motivated to work out when it's too hot, it's too cold, when it's too nice, when you're too busy, when you're too tired, when you have an upset stomach, when you have aches or pains or headaches, or you have work problems, or you have games or activities, and more important, or when you're even there's a TV show that you don't want to miss. That'll take care of the other 100%, and you will effectively stop your lifetime fitness exercise program. The first tip for this series of articles I discussed was my book on OMA, Obsessive Mental Attitude, and I want to go into more detail about OMA and what it is and how it can help you achieve anything you want in your life. And let's begin by looking at the mental conditioning or program that is used by 60% of the people in the world. I might say it's 80% according to the bell-shaped curve, because the people in the organization or company will actually do 80% of the work and 20% will do less of the work. So if the top 20% will do 80% of the work, then the bottom 80% are doing nothing. So these top 20% have figured out a mental conditioning that is necessary to succeed. And if I want to share what that mental conditioning is, most people rely upon feelings to do anything in life. If they don't feel like doing it, they don't do it. If it doesn't feel good, they don't do it. If it makes them feel bad, they don't do it. If it makes them feel good, even if it is harming them, they will do it. If it makes them feel good, even when it doesn't work, and has never worked and will never work in the future, they'll continue to do it and expect it to work. That's what's wrong with so many of the social programs in America and the world. The public school system doesn't work the way it is right now, but it makes people feel good when they pour money into the schools to keep doing the same stuff that makes the same kids stupid and the teachers not responsible. The welfare system doesn't work. People have been on welfare for 5 generations, the same families. But it makes people feel good to keep pouring money into a failed program. And people don't want people on welfare to feel bad. And so if they have to go to work, that would make them feel bad. So nothing gets done and the welfare system keeps eating money and failing. All because people want to feel good and they don't want other people to feel bad. When you are relying upon feelings to achieve anything great in your life, like staying fit for your life, you're not going to succeed. Your feelings change daily like the weather. You cannot rely upon feeling good about exercising as the motivating factor that you intend to actually use and will go out and require you to do the work to stay fit for life. You cannot rely upon feeling good to eat the right foods and to lift the weights. It won't work. It doesn't work. But it is still the most prevalent and pervasive form of mental conditioning utilized today in all aspects of society. Feeling good. In science, if you want to know if something works, do a study and have a controlled situation where you can determine exactly if the product or the drug or the theory works. If you give everyone the same drug to prevent measles and no one gets measles, then you can conclude it will work and put it on the market. If you give everyone the same course in school to solve a problem and they can solve a problem, then you conclude the course is successful and put it in the textbook. But that's not the way it works in the real world of mental conditioning. The business world uses feelings to get things done. Too many people do that. It tries to motivate their sales force to feel good, to be positive, to get pumped up, to get psyched up and go and make that sale. They tend to send their sales force to PMA meetings, positive mental attitude meetings, to motivational seminars. They hire motivational speakers to give inspiring speeches to get their people psyched up and to feel good about their job of selling. And it works for about 10 minutes, and then the other 90 minutes, 99% of the time, the sales force goes back into the doldrums and to feeling negative and not getting anything done. Why? Because positive mental attitude doesn't work as a lifelong motivating factor. Positive mental attitude has never worked. If it did work, why can't you stay positive for 10 minutes straight? Positive mental attitude and the other feel-good mental conditioning programs will never motivate someone to greatness. It is a failed system, but just like the failed public school system and the failed public welfare system, it is continually utilized because no one wants their sales staff to feel bad. So they keep buying positive mental attitude books, going to positive mental attitude seminars, and hiring motivational speakers so they can continue to feel good about themselves. If you ever read a book on PMA or a feel-good book that was intended to motivate you, and 2 days after reading the book you didn't feel good anymore and you actually felt worse, would you consider the book a failure or yourself a failure? Yet 99% of people consider themselves the failure, not the program. They simply refuse to believe that the book or the lecture or the seminar or the feeling good sermon didn't cause them to actually go out there and do something to change their life. It's because they have been conditioned to think and rely upon feelings instead of hard work to get things done. I do not rely upon feelings on my exercise program. I use a mental conditioning program that actually works. So what kind of mental conditioning does work? That works every time and cannot fail because the person using it would rather die than fail an obsession. OMA, obsessive mental attitude, works every time. It is used because the person who is obsessed must possess that which they are obsessed with. Let me relate it to something you can understand. Drugs. No one feels worse about being a drug addict than the drug addict. No one hates himself more than the cokehead. No one realizes more that they are destroying their life and their body with their drugs than the drug addict. And there's nothing they can do about it. The threat, there's nothing you can do about it either. The threat of jail, loss of job, loss of family, even loss of their life will not motivate them to get off of drugs because they're obsessed with drugs. They will do whatever it takes to get the next fix. The mental conditioning program they use works so well, it is destroying their lives, and they continue to use it. Now imagine if you had the power to motivate yourself to exercise, to get fit, to stay fit, as strong as the power as a drug addict had to do drugs. Well, you do. God gave every one of us the power to get an obsession. And when you get an obsession, you will get fit for life. If your obsession is to be fit for life. When you become obsessed with getting and staying fit, you will look forward to going to the health club as much as the junkie looks forward to the next hit. When you are obsessed with eating right, you won't even think about eating pies and cakes and candies because your obsession is being fit and staying fit. And your obsession will dominate your mind and body, overpowering all the negatives that cannot be stopped by trying to rely upon feelings. You no longer will be subject to feeling good in order to go exercise. You will exercise. You will get fit. You will stay fit because it is an obsession. A lifetime obsession will give you a lifetime of fitness. This is Dr. Ted. I'll see you next time.